Hey everybody, welcome to another day or episode of the Daily D. Today's topic is professional versus amateur. Now I thought about this because yesterday I had a training with some people on my team, my leadership teams, and I was talking about confidence and I was talking about the development of that confidence as it relates to skills, as it relates to sales, as it relates to the operations of their business. And one of the things that kept on coming to mind is the only way they're going to get better is if they become pros. The only way they get better is if they become pros. And then I thought, okay, what is really a pro? And why am I saying that? So this is where this all came from. So a professional, here it is by definition, this is not mine, is someone engaging in a specific activity as one's main occupation rather than a pastime. And the second definition added there was someone who does a job that requires specific training or skills. And what I defined it as is a committed person to an activity that requires above average skills. Above average skills, above average skills. And I would even say above average or even special skills. That's a pro. Let's talk about an amateur. An amateur is someone who engages in an activity as a pastime, which is the opposite of professional. An amateur, my definition, is someone who is not committed and has little to none, or to no rather, skills. They are average or below average. So me calling you an amateur should be disrespectful. Me calling you a pro should make you feel good. So let's talk about what activities in life do you want to become a pro at? And then the second question is, what activities do you want to become an amateur at? So the honest truth here is, whichever one you answer, what activities do you want to be a pro at? Which ones do you not want to be a pro at? And what I would tell you, the difference is, what results do you want to have in life? The results really matter. What kind of legacy do you want to live? What kind of return do you want to get? You see, you can be a professional at pretty much anything. You could be a professional at writing, you could be a professional at cleaning, you could be a professional at barbecuing, you could become a professional at putting on roofs, you could become a professional at upholstery, you could become a professional cook. You see, these are things you all could be professionals for. But you can also be an amateur at each one of those. And your decision to be pro at one of those or another really depends upon your commitment. And the way you get committed is when you get results. That's what I found. When I get a good result, I'm committed. And the result doesn't have to be money, but in most cases it will be. But it doesn't have to be money. It could be a commitment level to providing the best, highest quality food to my family. So I become a good cook. I become a professional. Right? It could be to carpentry or masonry or painting. Right? These are things that you could become pros at. Now, here's what I'll tell you. Whatever you choose to be a pro at, you have to make that your main activity. You see, pros don't dabble. They don't go, well, I'm kind of a pro at this, and this, and this. No, 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 no. You're an amateur at a lot of those things. You're probably a pro at just a few, maybe even one, because it's one activity. So why go pro? For the results, the money, the fame, the fortune, whatever that may be for you, whatever result you're looking. So here's how you do it. First off, to be pro at anything, you must practice, intentionally practice. You see, when you look at a good team of any sort, and I'm talking about in sports, the team shows up early to practice, and they don't just practice. Just for an example, if you went to a basketball game, they're not just horsing around, shooting baskets from left to the right, hooking them, dunking them. I mean, maybe they get a few of those in, but that's not their goal. Their goal is to practice the fundamental shots. Their goal is to practice the same shot over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Not till it becomes perfect, it's till they can't miss, right? They say practice makes permanent. Practice doesn't make perfect, it makes permanent. So the more often you do that one shot, the more likely you'll never miss. It's not about being perfect. It's about getting the habit of being permanent. So they practice daily, even more than daily. Twice a day, 3 times a day. They improve their skills through every experience. What can I learn from this? How can I get better? How do I not make those mistakes? Last that I put on here is they take activities serious. They're committed. They don't dabble in something. I kind of like doing this, so let's do it. No, that doesn't make you a pro. Does not make you a pro. So what I like to do also is you can grade or compare yourself against someone you define as a pro. That helps you to elevate yourself in the pro status. And lastly is they get paid, right? They get paid, and pros get paid. Amateurs, they got to pay. They got to continuously pay the price to become a pro, or they're never going to be a pro. They're always going to sit in the bleachers while the pros are on the court. You got to make a decision today. Do you want to be a pro or you want to be an amateur? And you have to make this decision not because it is the decision that changes your life ultimately, but it could. But here's why. Because it sucks being an amateur. It sucks not committing. Because if you're an amateur at everything, you're a pro at nothing. And you can't make money not being a pro. You can't be successful not being a pro at something. You got to pick something, guys. You got to pick something. You could be pro at sales, pro at taxes in my business, pro at insurance, pro at mortgages, pro at consulting, pro at accounting, pro at design, pro at marketing. What are you going to be a pro at? And let's go out and get it. All right, guys. I wish you nothing but health, wealth, success, but most importantly, freedom. Thanks, guys.